on, guys? This is GT here with another video. This video right here, I'm doing the 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback. So I'm gonna check this one out. I saw the newest one, which is the Audi. It was the same one, RS5, and it was the 2022. Which I expected to be extremely expensive because it was like, you know, the next year up. They're always expensive. But now looking into it, I'm going to check out this older one because I'm hearing that they're literally the same. Only difference is just the interior, the lights and stuff like that. For the newest one that came out is a little bit updated, but same engine, same everything. So I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see what's up. Oh. Okay.
I'm Yuri. I'm Jacob. We're going for a drive. 2019 Audi RS5.
Sportback with unofficial launch control.
Floor it and sport. Build boost.
Send.
Oh my. Did it lift there?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you can rip. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Horsepower and torque, then let's get into the unofficial launch control.
444 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque from a twin-turbo 2.9-liter V6.
Okay, what's up with the launch control?
It doesn't say launch control, but it builds boost.
But it only builds full boost when it's in sport transmission mode. If you're in manual or drive, it'll only build to half boost.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But I guess that's because, like, if you're in manual or drive, you're not gonna full commit to full speed. Like, if you want to go fastest, do what we tell you.
But what I noticed is if you have it in manual, it will always upshift first into second for you. All the other ones, it lets you, like, bog down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is like stupid fast.
This is very, very fast.
And this is Audi Quattro, and it says on the front bumper.
Which means it's all-wheel drive.
So it handles incredibly well. You can go way faster than you think you can just by driving normally. Like, we're also in a Corvette this week, and that thing is scary to go fast.
Yeah, exactly. So this is full confidence mode. You're not scared of anything. You can send it, no problem. I love the confidence that this car gives you to drive.
So let's test that out in Cliche Corner.
Yeah, that sounds like a thing we should do.
All right, so I'm going to go into manual with my little plastic paddles. And it just sticks.
It does feel very rear biased.
I feel like this is almost one of the fastest cars I've gone through Cliche in, and like with full confidence.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
What do you think was faster?
Porsches.
That's sound.
Okay, besides Porsches.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So with our luck, it started raining.
Yes, it did, but Quattro, so.
Yeah, okay, so let's start off with the looks then.
I love this thing.
It is a Sportback, so it's got a hatch.
Exactly. So I think this is single-handedly saving sedans because people apparently are not buying sedans. So I think Sportbacks are the way to save sedans.
And I'm definitely not helping with my love for the Urus over sedans.
Yeah.
But I think hatchback sedans like this, the Stinger,
yeah, I
can get behind that.
Exactly. I think they all look so good. I honestly think this is my favorite Audi. Other than the R8, but this is my favorite, best-looking Audi.
So you can get this in a two-door as well.
Yeah, you can get the RS5 Coupe, or you can get the Sportback.
I actually kind of like the four-door Sportback a little more.
So do I.
I'm more of a. I don't really like coupes. I like to have room in the back seat. That's just me. I like sometimes I like to throw stuff in the back seat or something like that, or whatever the case may be. Or you know, if I'm going somewhere, I can drop the back seats and have more space. But I'm more of a, you know, I like to have a back seat. I don't really like coupes like that. Like, it's just for me.
It's just more practical.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then what do you want to start with the looks? Headlights?
Yeah, let's do the headlights.
Because every Audi's got different headlights. This one's kind of got like from the top and then the lines go down. But it's not the new gen like the new A7 we drove.
Yeah, it's not like the multiple slits. It's like two small slits.
Yeah, not and like the Q8. So I think this is pretty good for what it is, but I feel like this is an older design that needs to get updated, which it will soon, and we can tell because we do have the older infotainment in here as well.
Yeah, and I just like how bright the headlights are as well.
Yeah, they're very recognizable. And then if we move to the grille,
massive.
So same old cool Audi grille. I guess the new ones are kind of moving to where the sides kind of poke in like the SS Camaro. But that's just my theory.
That's your theory.
We've got Quattro on the front lip.
That's how you kind of also know it's an RS, because every RS, it just says Quattro right
Kind
there.
of barely
And
see
then,
it, but
if you haven't noticed yet, it's all carbon fibered out.
Everywhere. This has so much in options, and it's basically all carbon fiber options.
And what I really like is those grills on the side, they hid the radars in there and the sensors.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even notice that.
You
at
thought they were
first.
fog lights.
Yeah, they look like fog lights.
That was, I think, the best integration. So then if we move to the side profile, we've got that cool body line like we had in the RS3 that kind of layers right throughout the whole car.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part, just because it looks so good.
What I really like is how at the front fender and the rear fender, it overlaps into like a fender shoulder as well.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that.
And we also have carbon fiber side sills as well.
Yeah, I think it just looks awesome like that.
And
Carbon
then if we
fiber
open the
out.
door, frameless windows.
That's right.
So my buddy at hockey, he's got a CLS 53, which is kind of similar to this. It's kind of like a slant back shape, except his is a trunk, and it also has frameless windows. Everyone seemed to like the RS5 more on Instagram.
Oh, I love this way more. Follow us on Instagram, Irritators from the Straight Pipes.
But I kind of like the inside of that Mercedes more, because it's like that cool new infotainment, you know?
I agree, the interior of that for sure, but the exterior of this and the performance of this.
And then one of my favorite parts, the wheels. And
Yeah.
not just the design, the way the tires are wrapped in them.
I love the design of these wheels. They look so damn good. These are one of my favorite wheels. They're so simple.
For the newest one that came out in 2022, I do like the bronze than the I'm guessing that's chrome than the chrome one. The bronze look a lot cleaner, but I mean, it still looks decent though.
Absolutely nailed it.
But they're not that usual RS style that we see kind of on that Honda HRV.
I disagree. I see the relative similarity once you pointed it out, but the regular RS5 wheels look so good, or the regular RS wheels. These ones are just different enough that they look so much better to me.
And back to the tire thing, on RS models, it always looks like the tire is stretched to fit the rim. So like, there's almost no tire sticking out. You're gonna curb that thing right away.
And speaking of those tires, Yuri, what is the Continental recommended tire?
The tire that's on the vehicle right now, the Conti Sport Contact 6.
And behind those gigantic, amazing-looking wheels, we have carbon ceramic brakes.
And they actually say Audi ceramic.
They look so good, and they work so good. Yuri?
Should I do it?
You should. Oh my... I don't know why I always ask you to do that.
Seatbelt tighten too.
Yeah.
I love carbon ceramic brakes. Honestly, for like a road car, it'd be the sickest thing to have.
They work so well, but very expensive to replace.
Yeah, I guess don't not be rich.
Pretty much.
Okay, so now let's move on to the back end.
That's the business end.
Is the rear three-quarter angle your favorite?
Honestly, I think the front is my favorite. I think it looks so good from the front three-quarter.
The rear isn't my favorite in this one. I think... I don't know. I think it's an overall look for me on this. Everything's even.
Yeah, exactly. But the back looks so good because we got those fat oval exhaust tips.
Yes, so that is an RS thing, which I think is very cool.
Yeah, you can see the valves if you look right inside them. And then we got that big carbon fiber diffuser as well.
Yeah, it looks so good. And then we've got sequential taillights. Pretty decent taillight design. Nothing like spectacular right now.
Yeah, I just think overall this is one of the best cars you can buy. Looks-wise.
And what do you think of the little spoiler we got?
It's nice. Clean, carbon fiber, perfect.
And then we can probably end the back end off with the box test.
Yeah, we probably should. Box test!
4 Kevsky Pops, 5 CF Driveco, 6 Emmett, 7 6 at Toronto, and 8 Nemesis Autosport. Get your own box at patreon.com/thestraightpipes. Counts. Not as good as I thought.
It's kind of to be expected. My benchmark is the Honda Civic Type R, and almost nothing catches up to that.
Yeah, that's a god mode.
Yeah.
But I think the kind of person who would buy this car is a businessman who rides a bike to exercise, and this could definitely fit a race bike in the back.
Oh, it could for sure.
I wonder if
Like,
it's still
there'd
twin
definitely be
turbo.
a business guy / biking is my hobby guy.
Yeah, I could see that. Although they might go for like the RS7, but that's pricier.
I feel like the RS7 guy wouldn't bike.
Really?
You know, he'd be more of a higher up who's just getting fatter.
I disagree, but okay. And we should probably do the visor test now. 3, 2, 1. Yes!
Oh yeah. From the 2022, they had like a clip of that from doing that. Yeah, I remember that. That clip about supplies too. I was like, guess you paying for that. Holy crap!
I gotta pull over and find that.
You shouldn't be pushing it so hard, bro.
It wasn't even that hard.
It's because you used your right hand. I saw it. Every time we use our right hand, it flies off. All right, we're good again.
And a small cup will fit just fine.
Except we're going to show you with a medium.
So before you drive, I kind of want to talk a little bit more about the power.
Go for it.
This thing is insanely fast. So if
It
I
is.
put it into sport, leave it in auto, if I punch it, it'll just downshift and fly. And even when you're in manual mode, like the upshifts are great, like super fast. We get that.
Because it is a ZF 8-speed auto, as we always love.
But the power is very controllable. Like I feel like you can put an amateur in here and they can drive this no problem.
Potentially.
Like
it's a lot of power.
Like I'm talking somebody who's never
How much
driven
power
more
do
than,
it
like,
have?
a
It's like
GTI or a
444,
Golf
right?
R. You know, they would be
The
fine.
Golf R, yes. The GTI, I think they'd be a little bit overwhelmed with this.
But they'd be a lot easier in this than like a rear-wheel drive V8 like American
Absolutely.
car, right?
Yeah, like
you
a
put
Corvette
someone in-
Z06.
or a Hellcat. Or
Yeah, they're
something.
gonna die.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a nice safety blanket.
that's fair.
So now your turn to drive. Maybe you start with some power in the paddles.
Launch control, obviously.
Real launch control or fake launch control?
Well, it's all unofficial, so we're gonna do real.
That's real. And even in wet, it still hooks up super hard.
Hooks up completely fine. So let's talk about that engine a little bit more. Non-stop pulling power, absolutely love it. There's a tiny bit of turbo lag, aka boost threshold, whatever you want to call it. You just wait a little bit, you get max boost, and then you're gone.
But if you're sticking in your paddle mode, like you can work around that.
Oh, for sure. But it's still there, just a little bit less. And like we said earlier, the transmission shifts so quickly, upshifts, downshifts. The paddles, you also mentioned, they do suck.
They're still like flimsy on an RS model. Like.
Yeah, RS, I expected metal. You got like a little bit of metal look from the front, but from the back where you actually feel the click, it's plastic.
Give me those Lambo paddles from the Urus.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know.
What does the R8 have? The R8 must have metal.
Honestly, I'm scared to look.
Yeah, so am I now. Anyways,
Same
this is
ones.
a very good car, drives incredibly well.
And then the shifting, every time you upshift, you get the grrr.
Yeah, you get the DSG farts, which this doesn't have a DSG, but you get the fart.
It's a ZF, so
Yeah.
like it's like a ZF tuned to sound like a DSG, which everyone loved.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with it. I'm really okay.
Oh, I'm
with
totally okay with that.
it. And even sometimes in comfort mode, I feel like the grrr are a little bit more because the popping is less.
Okay. And let's talk about that exhaust. I think it sounds pretty good from the outside. From the inside, it's so subtle.
It is the perfect amount of exhaust for an Audi RS5. Because like people buying this car aren't loud and obnoxious like you'd be buying a C43 or 63 or something, right?
I totally disagree. I think this needs to be a lot louder. This is an RS.
I think-
For an S, yes. For an RS, louder.
That's old Audi. Old Audi is wagons, loud, obnoxious stance. New Audi is this.
Well, I want old Audi and new Audis then.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna happen anymore. But like, you know what I mean? There's a big difference of you
Yeah.
see an old Audi on the road, like
Yeah.
people do some wacky stuff to it. And what's nice is that you can rev up the engine while you're in park all the way to redline,
Yeah, not many cars these days let you do that.
and you get all the pops and stuff. It's super good.
So this does pop, and it's very bassy. Like, it's got a really interesting tone to it. Probably the bassiest pops that I've heard in a car.
Yeah, I overall really like the sound,
I don't think it's enough for an RS personally.
and I fully respect that opinion because you are kind of right.
So let's talk about the drive modes. Yuri, what do we have?
We've got our drive select button on the bottom.
Ah, I
It's
hate
kinda hard
that.
to use.
Why
I
empty
can
spots?
I usually click the drive select button and nothing happens. We've got comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual.
And you can customize that to the little star button on your steering wheel.
So I pretty much just stick to either comfort or dynamic. You set up individual so it's got soft suspension because you don't like the dynamic suspension.
So dynamic suspension in this car, I think, is under or over damped. I honestly can't tell which one, but it's just not right. It's a little bit too bouncy. It's not too stiff, it's bouncy.
I do notice that it is bouncy, but I guess I told you earlier that I've been driving my Prowler around so much that everything feels all right, which isn't a fair standard.
No, so we've driven an M3 CS, which, yes, it was a CS, but it had correct damping. All the BMWs, even the M Performance ones, have right damping. They're not bouncy.
Yeah,
And
no,
C43s,
it is a little weird, but
E53,
I don't totally mind it in this.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't think it's done right. So I've been enjoying myself in individual with comfort suspension and actually comfort steering. Even though the best steering is probably dynamic, I've been enjoying comfort.
So are you going in drive, sport, transmission, or paddles?
I'm using paddles.
I'm using a combination of all of them. They're so easy to switch between whenever I'm in the mood. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, they really are. And the best way to test the suspension is, once again, through cliche corner. And there's pretty much no body roll. Like, this thing feels so planted, and it does feel rear-wheel drive-y.
But you're not going to wash out. You're not going to spin out in this.
No, exactly. Like, I'm not pushing it enough to notice understeer, and I would really like to drive an Audi on the track just to push it to the real limits, but through Cliche Corner, not pushing it super hard, it's very controllable.
And then on my daily driving, like taking on-ramps, I feel like I have more confidence in this than pretty much every car I've ever driven, besides the Urus.
Okay.
That I've never had more confidence in anything than the Urus. And I know it sounds crazy, but...
And the steering is fantastic in this. There's no issues. There's no like BMW M performance. Like there's no weird stuff. It does everything you expect it to do, and it feels the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, it's light, but also very responsive, and then I guess firm enough when it needs to be.
Exactly. And then we got Alcantara steering wheel. Let's talk about this interior.
All right, so let's start with the old...
So, looking at to it, I mean, it's pretty... It's like the same one as the I think the 2022, but I'm not sure. They ain't mentioned the horsepower yet, so I'm not sure how much horsepower. Unless they did say it, I missed it. I'm guessing it's the same horsepower, and then the engine size, I think it's I saw one turbo on the side, which, well, not one turbo. I saw one intake on the side for the turbo, so I'm guessing it's not twin turbo. So I'm not sure it's the same engine, but I mean, it sounds nice. It sounds decent. I'm not talking because it's just like it's just
kind of like
I'm just trying to learn.
Softens it up a bit for me.
Yeah. So after driving the new Audi stuff, this looks kind of dated now.
Yeah. So this is controlled by the scroll wheel. It's not a touch screen. It all works very well.
It does still, and it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
Yeah. It doesn't have wireless Apple CarPlay, and it doesn't have rewinding satellite radio. But like, it gets the job done. And for an RS model, like, you can deal. But if you know they're coming out with it, like, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I understand why they can't update everything across the whole board at once, because then, like, if something goes wrong, the whole lineup of the company is out of commission, and that could bankrupt the company. So it has to kind of be done this way.
Yeah. When they do fully update this, it's going to be incredible.
So then if we look at our gauge cluster, we've got the older style, so we've got the tack in the middle, or we can have two little things on the side.
I absolutely love the tack in the middle, and then the shift lights are also fantastic still.
Yeah, we get the cool colors that shift, just like the RS3.
Exactly.
Pretty much exactly the RS3. Watch that video.
I like this more than the RS3 overall.
But the gauges.
Yeah.
And then the only thing we don't have here that we had in the newer ones that I kind of don't like is that we don't have reduced display.
Yeah, you really don't. There's no way to even fake reduce it.
But I gotten used to the power and the torque meter.
It's not
which
that
I
bad.
actually
I mean,
really like now.
And when I got in here, and you always change the gauge cluster to something really weird, I saw it, I'm like, this is what I want. G meter, power, and torque.
Like, I don't look at the G meter, but the power and torque is nice, and it's like the most reduced display I could find.
Yeah, I agree.
So we're running the old style maps in here, not the new style in the Audi. That's the Google Maps satellite view kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't like these, but whatever.
And the funny thing is, this stuff is now in Volkswagens at the exact same time. So it's the exact same stuff in the Jetta, but this isn't as pixely as it is in the Jetta and the Tiguan.
Yeah, that's
probably
bad.
because this was designed together and it's just been ported over to the Jetta.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is wild, kind of cool. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I'm sure designers have like a good time looking at that.
And I'm loving holding this Alcantara steering wheel. Again, we
The
talked
steering
about
wheel
the
look
paddles,
nice.
not my favorite, but an RS flat bottom, I absolutely love how this feels and looks. And I actually noticed a really weird thing that I want to point out. This airbag is huge, and I've actually been steering with it a couple times. It's kind of fun because it'll actually steer the whole car. Anyways, we also have Alcantara right up here on the shifter, which is very not, I don't like it.
That was weird at first, but I don't mind it at all now.
It's not cool, like, I don't like it because the next owner is going to be disgusted when they get into this.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot harder to clean it, like your hands with the gross and stuff on it. Yeah, never mind.
Exactly.
Kind of gross.
Yeah.
But I guess steering wheels too, like...
Yeah. On the shifter, because you're always resting on it, you're probably sweating, eating Cheetos and whatnot.
Okay, and then your armrest ratchets up and down and slides forward, which is super cool.
We've got our volume control down here, which is also the tuning knob, and then we also have this like weird cubby thing for like, I don't know, SD cards.
Chapstick.
Yeah, who knows?
Chapstick. And then we've got carbon fiber everywhere in the interior too, and Alcantara, which looks super nice.
Sorry, I just wanted to send it.
We've got RS floor mats.
Yeah, they look wicked.
And let's talk about the seatbelts in the seats. So we obviously have some red lines, which means it's super fast.
And the seats look so cool, RS, and they're super well bolstered.
Yeah, there's no adjustable headrest, but everything's right on it.
That's because these are race buckets, bro.
Race buckets with massage.
Yeah, that's right. We actually do.
That's what I'm talking about. See, the RS3 didn't have the seats for you to adjust, and it costs a lot. You expect to have like power steering seats and stuff, but it's like,
massage.
And it's very good massage as well. And if we move to the back seat, I fit fine, but Jacob's got a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, not so good on the headroom there.
And one of my favorite features that I always forget to mention in show, which I finally did this time, programmable garage door opener. So we do that through the menu. It says, aim the garage door opener right here at the rear view mirror. You do that while clicking the button. It says, I got it. And now I don't need to have a garage door opener when driving this car.
Nice.
It is nice, because like, okay, look at this little thing here. You're going to have one of these things rattling around all the time, like in a cup holder, like while you're ripping it. You got to find it, you got to look. If you own this every day.
Put it right here.
Yeah, but then it's on the visor and it flies right off.
Oh yeah,
and you might lose it.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. If you live in an apartment, not just like a garage that you open sometimes, because not everyone parks in their garage.
No, that's true. Sorry, I was just thinking of the flying visor. And I also noticed that it's really quiet in here, so if you just left this thing in comfort and drove it normally, it would feel like a regular non-RS car.
You know, even if it was in dynamic, it would still sound all right.
It would.
It's quiet.
Exactly. So like daily commuting, if you're a doctor, no problem. Your doctor.
And then we also have a nice 360 camera, parking sensors, and really good blind spot monitoring on the sides. We don't mention blind spot monitoring and parking sensors as much as we should, because I really like that stuff.
I don't use any of it.
It's good, and I love having it.
I love having mirrors and my rear view mirror, and that's it.
Yeah, see, I like the gimmicks too.
Yeah, I get that, because some of them are really good. Like, these ones work.
Okay, so let's get to the price.
This one's really interesting.
Hit me with it.
$84,350 to start.
Canadian.
Throw $30,000 in options, and this is what you get. $116,545.
So we got like $30,000 worth of carbon fiber on here.
Pretty much. And
that's like still close to like 90. That's no different from the 2022 one. Like, Jesus Christ. Maybe because it's a carbon fiber edition, maybe, which I wouldn't really care. Like, after carbon fiber set, I'm pretty sure you can go on what is Amazon or eBay or whatever website, and you probably find the little stuff that I put on my car, the little cover that you put on there, and then it's carbon fiber. So, you know, it's like I
grease
won't.
buckets and whatnot.
Well, I pay that much when I could just pay like probably $12 for it. Like the mirrors. When I took off my carbon fiber mirrors cup that I had on there, I put it on there. Then it's carbon fiber. You know what I mean? So it's like you can spend like $12 or whatever dollars and put it on there, and then it's carbon fiber. So it's
a lot of money in options.
Hopefully it's less, because that's a lot.
How much would a Stinger cost? Because that's a 4-door hatch. And then how much extra are you paying for this? And is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely faster than a Stinger. Like, this is way better than a Stinger, for sure.
I guess like an S5 would be more of a Stinger.
He said an S5 is more a comparison to the Stinger. Oh my God. The shitting on the Stinger. But I think I saw enough. I'm going to end this video right here. But, well, I can play a little bit through. I'll play a little bit through.
Yes, it would. An S5 Sportback.
Are there any other real competitors for this?
No, there's no actual competition that's a Sportback or anything close to that. The closest thing you get is like an M3 4-door or an M4 or maybe even a C63 4-door. Like
I'm thinking CLS 53.
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe because besides it not being a hatch,
just the shape.
And then maybe an AMG GT 4-door shape-wise.
Yeah.
But then like way more power.
And price-wise, not really the same.
Exactly, which is kind of cool that they have their own market for that.
Yeah, and again, like this is my favorite Audi. It's so good.
Favorite Audi so far.
I think this is the most practical car you can get for the amount of speed that you really want.
So like the most room, the comfiest seats, the most storage.
Yeah, without getting into like wagons, because this isn't a wagon.
Yeah, I guess technically you're correct.
Like, because this would kind of compete with sedans, so it's a Sportback.
I don't know, I think you're right, especially when you include handling like through a road course or anything. This is probably faster than a lot of cars.
Yeah, like this thing's silly fast. It handles so well. Like
Speaking of a wagon, wagon's right there. But yeah, wow, the price wasn't that big, like that big of a gap, because I don't like getting used cars. I like getting my car brand new, because I know that I was the only one to set it and the only one who, you know, whatever to it. Like, it's my, you know, my car kind of thing. But man, that car is, that's probably my favorite. I thought the RS3 was mine, but the RS5 has my heart right now. But it's kind of crazy. It's kind of funny how you just shitted on the fucking Stinger. Like, this is way better than the Stinger. It's like, but yeah, please leave a comment section below. Tell me which one y'all think is the best, and yeah, I'm gonna keep looking around. Let me know if there's anything out there that's like, you know, more better, cause the price range for that is like crazy. But Hey, this is BM GT. I'm out, man.